What's going on, Broncos country? Hope you're having a great day. I think that this preseason game that we just had against the San Francisco 49ers was pretty telling that a changing of the guard is coming in our running back room at the running back position. I mean, we've already seen this a little bit start to transpire, of course, with the signing of J.K. Dobbins and the draft pick of R.J. Harvey at pick 60. But I think this was pretty telling in terms of who's going to round out this room. Maybe this is a little bit early, but I gotta call it how I see it, man. I don't see Audric, Estime, and Jaleel McLaughlin based on their performances against the Niners as the third and fourth best running backs in this room. But I think that's a good thing when I'm starting to think about this. Like, we had one of the worst rushing attacks in all of the NFL, if not the worst. I can't remember if we had the worst, but we were very bad. And I think like a full cleaning of the house of the entire room is probably beneficial. I'm going to show you guys some video clips. We'll get into some statistics. Of course, want to know what you guys think. Be sure to smash that like, subscribe, guys. I'm 4 subs away on YouTube from 2,800. It would mean a lot to have your support there, but let's get it going. Big E, appreciate it. So yeah, let's start with this when it comes to let's start with the box scores, okay? I went over this in my post game with Zach Seegers. Please check that out on my live section if you haven't seen it. But there were some things that we just love seeing out of Tyler Badie. 5 carries. Get this. For 32 yards. Let me show it right here. Or rather, that way we keep the overlay. 5 carries for 32 yards. And it wasn't just the fact like he didn't have these huge, insane holes to run through all the time. Now, there were a couple runs that I thought the offensive line did a great job of opening the way for him. But this is what we saw in small spurts like against Tampa Bay. Tyler Badie makes an offensive line look better because he has true vision. He has the ability to anticipate. Now, he's pretty much like straight up broke his back last year. So I don't necessarily think it was fair to like bring him back for the wild card round, but it's clear that he has fully recovered from that, which is massive. And again, he showed a feel for the game that sometimes at the running back position, I just feel like you have or you don't at this stage in the NFL. On the flip side, I think Jaleel McLaughlin, 3 carries for 5 yards. Now, he did have a touchdown run called back due to a holding call, but I think it was that holding call on Pat Bryant which opened up the entire play. I think we saw Jaleel go down on first contact a lot. I think we saw him try and, bounce a couple of these things outside. You didn't really see that shiftiness, the patience or vision that Tyler Badie showed. Now, Badie only had 2 more carries than Jaleel McLaughlin, but he looked night and day a better running back than him. And to also compare, let's take a look at Audric Estime versus Blake Watson. Now, Audric Estime did get rolling later in the game in the fourth quarter, but I thought that was like quite telling that we saw Tyler Badie get a shot before Audric Estime, essentially, and we saw Blake Watson get some nice run. I think Audric at least finished positively on the night, but when he was going up against better players, I think it's safe to say, man, like a lot of people who know football better than me are saying how, yeah, he looked like Javonte Williams did last year, like physically, like running the ball. And it's disappointing, but that's how I see it too. I didn't really see that explosion. Again, his 40-yard time wasn't great coming out, but what was great was his 10-yard split. And we have yet to see that explosiveness off the line initially. Just looks slow getting started. You saw him 8 carries for 21 yards. That's not great. It's less than 3 yards a carry. That's rough. Jaleel McLaughlin, way less than 3 yards a carry, 3 for 5. And then with Blake Watson, what did we see? We saw great contact balance. We saw the ability to catch the ball and run through contact. We saw the ability for him to find running lanes and make guys miss. I think both Tyler Badie and Blake Watson, they both have shown better vision out of the backfield than Audric Estime and Jaleel McLaughlin. And that's what we need. I still expect us to have a very good offensive line. I'm expecting Ben Powers to get it together. I'm hoping that he will. I'm expecting our offensive line to bounce back. I'm not panicking yet. Okay. But we need guys who are going to make plays, something out of nothing. We saw RJ Harvey do that. We saw J.K. Dobbins do that throughout his career. To round out this backfield, we don't need guys that are one-trick ponies or looking like they're running through quicksand. We need guys, the next man up is expected to go and make plays, to make guys miss, to make you go, wow, to make the most out of the opportunity that they're being given with whatever play call it is, right? Tyler Badie and Blake Watson showed the ability to do that. And I expect them to again this week against the Cardinals. And I think the writing is kind of on the wall right now for Blake Watson or for Jaleel McLaughlin and Audric Estime that they need to take their game up to another level. Because, again, we had one of the worst rushing attacks in all of the NFL last year. Maybe it's good if we completely turn over the room. That's how I feel about it. Now, I want to get to some thanks from Kodiak because Kodiak had some great tweets. We're going to show those. And another instance of why we're going to see Blake Watson or Tyler Badie on this roster. Kodiak saying, quote, not only is Badie going to make this team because of his ability as a runner, but on special teams as well. He's playing as the punt protector in this formation. Right there, okay? Excellent job to recover after a disastrous threat by J.L. Skinner. Completely breaks the 49ers returner free. Let's check this out. Getting downfield. See Badie right here. Hopefully this isn't demonetized. And he's the one that saves this from getting into enemy territory or being like a touchdown, pretty much. Crawshaw, hopefully he'll get it together. But yes, an excellent job to anticipate, showing that anticipation on special teams as well. He ran a solid line that ended up containing that returner. Great job. Great stuff from Kodiak. Please go subscribe to his YouTube channel. And then some Blake Watson love. He has every Blake Watson touch from last night's game. This is a guy who, even on the plays that go nowhere, looks like he's fighting tooth and nail to make the Denver Broncos 53-man roster. And I mean, check this out. Just quick off the line. Once he gets the ball, blowing through contact again for a big-time gain. Now, I can't show these in full or else I'll get flagged. But we'll take a look at a few more. Man, I love this play. Right here in the flat. Right across the sideline. You'll see him make two guys miss on this play. And it's a dump off in the flat that goes for a first down. Look at that. Boom. Contact balance. Tiptoe. Third guy has to hit him out. Look at this one. Look at the juke. Ha! This is insane. Whoop! Look at that. I'm sorry, but Jaleel McLaughlin and Audric Estime have not shown the ability to do this consistently. And I think we're better off moving in the direction of maybe some less experienced guys. Well, granted, Audric doesn't have a ton of NFL experience, but Tyler Badie definitely less experienced than Jaleel McLaughlin in terms of NFL snaps. But I think we just need to go in the direction of the best overall talent. And how many times did I come on my channel or you go to other Denver Broncos creators who are all wonderful, by the way, and we're talking about, man, we need juice in this room. We need juice. We need a guy that can actually make something out of nothing. Between RJ, JK, Tyler, Blake, I think that's a really good group of 4 to where they all have the quality to do that. And then with J.K. Dobbins, you still got the ability to run short yardage situations, I think, really well with him, some power situations. I think RJ Harvey has the ability to do that. But even if Tyler Badie is put in some of those situations, I still think he can execute in goal line and short yardage situations because of his vision. And I think I had one more tweet here from Kodiak. No, I did not. So again, y'all, please go check that out. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Broncos roster. And I'm going to give you my new 53-man roster prediction right now. Let me know if you guys will change anything. But this is what I'm doing. We're going to we'll treat this like a depth chart, at least with the running back position. But Harvey, Dobbins, Badie, Watson. We'll keep the tight end room the same. Nate Atkins still has the edge over Prescorn, but hey, it's close right now. And want to give huge props. Nick Gargiulo might have been the biggest winner out of Saturday's game. And Clay Webb, even though he had a terrible PFF rating, there were a couple plays, or like 3 rather, that he got beat like pretty bad on. But then the upside of the other plays, the athleticism that you saw, I really did like what we saw out of Clay Webb. So I would probably say the group is kind of looking like this for right now. We'll see what happens with Forsyth. He could be a guy that makes it or doesn't make it. And I think like right now on defense, maybe the safety position's got to change a little bit. Yeah, we're not going to have Drew Sanders on the initial 53. Maybe I've been doubting somebody like Devin Key too much. We'll see what happens with JL Skinner. But this is kind of how I like the room right now. Maybe JL Skinner. Well, actually, I think we saw Sam Franklin over him. So, yeah, I think this is the change that I would make right now. Justin Sternad, I thought, played very well. A little bit better than Lavelle Bailey. But Corene Reed, number 47, is making a strong push for this 53 with that interception, with how he just looked overall on defense. So, yes, I think that's how I'm going to have it right now. But like I always do, I always change this like every few days. So we'll see what comes up. But I would like to keep 9 offensive linemen at least, which is like where we're at right now. So I'll get to a few of your comments. I won't keep this very long. At 9:30, or rather 8:30 Mountain Time, we do have our weekly horsepower hour where we're going to discuss these things more in depth. So we got 36 people in here. Please be sure to smash that like and subscribe. Let's see. Biggie Bronco says he doesn't think the third running back is on the roster yet. Maybe so. I would love it if we trade for Alvin Kamara still. I just don't know if that's going to happen. Familman TV saying that's one game of preseason at that. No way I get rid of Jaleel. It's true. This is a preseason overreaction by all definitions. But I just don't think Jaleel really brings that much, man. That's really what I think, man. Let me know what your running back room would look like. Let me know. The only question I have is who gets stashed up on the practice squad? Maybe Audric. Maybe Jaleel. I don't know if Jaleel has like a huge market. T Fishes, not going to let one preseason game convince or change my mind on anything. Stoked to see more. I think that's definitely the patient approach is always best, but I can't lie. Like physically, how these guys look, just way more athletic. You can't deny it. At least in that aspect. Let's see how they look mentally against the Cardinals, making sure they're making the right reads and how they are in pass protection. That's something to keep an eye on too. But we're not talking about starters either. Like, I think when you are looking to go for that depth, maybe it is you're looking to go for some guys that could really hit and pay off rather than like floor plays, which I feel like Jaleel and Audric right now, or rather Jaleel, is more like a floor, like a safe play. Man, I would love it if we got a new tight end, to play over Troutman, but that's just me too, Big E. David, what's going on, man? I hope this podcast people are not freaking out or willing to kick Bo to the curb. Oh yeah, man. I mean, we saw Bo play all. He had one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time. Not worried about the first team offense. Maybe. You got to remember the Niners practice against the Broncos days before they were ready for Jaleel. I guess. I mean, wouldn't they be right for everybody too, though? I don't know. I appreciate your thoughts, Thamel. Kodiak Bronco podcast. Yeah, that's right. You got some love on here. You got featured. Warming up for horsepower hour. But yeah, Thamel, let me know who your room is right now. Watson looked like he was angry when he was running, and it was great to see Badie running like he did last season. Yeah, I think these guys ran with serious purpose last year. Now, Thamel, you're bringing up the point about Jaleel. When it comes to he did have a couple very, very solid touchdown runs for us last year. The one that I remember is the big one against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? On that dumb goal line call from Sean Payton. I think it was a 4th down and short on the goal line. He's calling like a toss play. Jaleel did make a guy miss there. And I'll give it at that. But again, I just don't think what we saw throughout what Jaleel got last season is it going to get any better? We'll have to see. Kodiak, not a fan of Jaleel. Coming in here, man. And I think this is kind of like how I feel. Like where, Jordan, you're saying it better than I can, what I can in 18 minutes. Our running game has been so bad with Javonte and Jaleel. I need a fresh start. JK, RJ, Badie, Watson. Just clean house, just a fresh start. And maybe there's another scheme that could benefit Jaleel a little bit better. But again, I feel like Badie, Watson, these guys are better out of the backfield. They're a little bit more of a dual threat than either Audric and Jaleel are right now. And Tyler Badie seems to give you some nice punt protection on special teams. Is Jaleel doing that? I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, Eli, I got fooled by Sean Payton. I saw RJ as RB5 and I was shocked. I hate how Sean Payton does those stupid depth charts, man. It's like we hear how the reps are going. It's just for the fans, man, for us to talk about, man. Why are you trolling us? I feel like he's always trolling us with these depth charts. We all knew he's going to be the first running back out there, or him or JK. It was great to see. No one is as smart as Sean Payton, said Sean Payton. I know, man. So yeah, that's how I feel about it today, man. We'll see if Jaleel goes and runs for 100 yards. I will absolutely flip-flop coming out of this. But just athletically, what we saw, you got to go with the most talented guys, man. And I think that Tyler and Blake were the more talented guys. So, yeah, again, that's how I'd round out the 53 right now, putting both of those guys on the roster. And credit to, there have been some hardcore Badie stands always standing up for Badie this whole freaking year, saying, when are we going to see more Badie? And he looked like he hadn't missed a beat from that Tampa Bay game. Like, truly impressive. All right, Thamel coming in here saying, my room would be J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, Jaleel, and Badie. Hopefully we don't get to see Jaleel or Badie, because if we do, that's a bad sign, meaning someone was hurt. Yeah, more likely. Or like, man, these guys just suck at the top, which that would be a huge issue if they if they got benched. But that ain't going to happen, man. R.J. Harvey, I thought he looked good. He made some big eye pop in plays. We just got to work with him on the discipline, not to always try and kick everything outside. But very impressive, I still think, for a rookie debut nonetheless. And I love the fact that you got Badie on this roster. I think that, again, he was somebody that I was kind of more so counting out, not taking too seriously. Again, I'm like, man, this guy had like a broken back or whatever. And again, he has come back and looked like he has not missed a beat. And we really needed somebody with really good vision. I feel like that's what we've missed in this room over the last like few years, right? And honestly, man, the last back that I felt like had good vision for us, it was probably Latavius Murray, funny enough. And that allowed him to still be pretty productive for us as like a 32-year-old when we signed him, right? A couple years ago. But yeah, I think that's what Tyler Badie brings to this roster, is just a really good vision. He can do a little bit of everything, and he can even play on special teams. So I really love that. I like the fact that you also have 4 running backs in here, and because I feel like we're going to use all of them. Now, obviously, we disagree on Jaleel, but I would say my take right now is definitely more reactionary. So I got no problem with your room right now. Thank you for responding. Quentin Caldwell. Hey, everybody. Man, hope you guys are doing well. Again, I'm so pumped tonight to talk about the overall winners and losers, stock up, stock down here on Horsepower Hour. It's going to be a lot of fun. 8:30 Mountain Time. Guys, again, I'm only 4 subs away from 2,800. We're going for 3,000 by the start of the season. Big E Bronco also saying he would have Dobbins, Harvey. They pick up a running back, and then they also keep Jaleel. And I guess one of the things for keeping Jaleel is, again, you kind of know what you're getting. Again, more of a floor play, but maybe that's what you want out of a running back that is near the bottom of the roster. You'd want to know what you're getting. And Jaleel's been in the offense for years now. You know what you're getting with him. I think that's safe to say. So I feel like that's perfectly reasonable. Now, if there's a guy cut such as, like from Chicago, Roschon Johnson. I'm a Roschon Johnson believer. I would love to bring him in. Kick the tires on Roschon Johnson. I thought he was a very good running back at Texas. I'm not going to fault anybody for not being good in Chicago. Just not. It's a cursed franchise. Trying to think of who else would be some other running backs that you'd want to kick the tires on, Biggie. Let me know. I'll go here for a few more minutes since you guys are keeping me entertained. This is a two-way street here. But yeah, again, hope you guys are having a great day. It's awesome to have football back to talk about. It's great to debate. It's great to have this discourse. To me, it's so much fun. And I'll get back to the offensive line as well. I'm not going to freak out about it. I did notice a couple of things. Xavier Truss, UDFA from Georgia. We had him mainly playing right tackle. Nick Gargiulo, our 7th-round pick that did not make the roster last year out of South Carolina, and then I think he was at Yale before that. He was mainly playing left guard, and I thought he looked great. So shout out to Rowan, a consistent viewer of this channel and my friends' channels. He looks great. He has to make the roster. That's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Palczewski, I was disappointed with his pass protection. Maybe he truly is more of a guard than tackle. I think right now you put a gun to my head, say, Dave, what position are we going in the first round next year? It's got to be offensive line. That's how I feel about it. But again, Clay Webb, there were some high highs and there were some low lows. But the fact that you're seeing high highs, in my opinion, I think that's very, very positive. You saw him get to the second level with ease in those run plays, man. Got to the second level with ease. Now, there were a couple times where he just couldn't keep his hands, wasn't positioned right enough, in my opinion, to stick to the linebacker long enough. But man, like, I'm just interested to see what we see out of Clay Webb. I would not write him off. His PFF grade was terrible, but that does not reflect his full level of play. I'm not letting the Clay Webb slander start yet. Now, I think that this is fair. This is fair. Okay. I'm one to always defend Sutton right now, but I think that this is fair that both Sutton and Jaleel, they're productive for us, and we kind of take them for granted. I'm definitely taking Jaleel for granted in this video. There's no wrong about you're not wrong about that. But anyways, he says Jaleel was a reliable weapon for Bo Nix last year, just like Sutton. Look at how explosive he was in the Browns game. With Jaleel, we lose that game. He was the only running game we had besides Bo. And that, again, that is very fair. And to support your claim, I did ask Coach Mike Sanford on Twitter yesterday who he has as his 4 running backs on the roster. And Thamel, he went with those same 4 that you did. So, again, I don't think Jaleel is, I wouldn't call him trash. You know, some people want to call Court trash. Now, I know this is a bit of a hot take, but I think Sutton is right there at like somewhere between 5 and 7 for like the greatest Broncos wide receiver of all time. That's how I feel about Sutton, man. People are overreacting about his drops in preseason. Like, we're going to forget about everything in preseason, pretty much, aside from that 70-yard field goal from that Jaguars kicker named Little. Anything but. Yeah. We'll see how it all goes, man. We'll see how it all goes, but that's probably that and the offensive line are the positions that I'm going to be watching the most in this Cardinals game. It's going to be incredibly fun. And to me, all I want to see is the first team offense go down and score a touchdown. That's all I need to see, man. I don't care if we're going up against the first or second team. Just score a touchdown, get the feeling of success, back in you, and then we roll. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Again, appreciate all of you guys very much. Again, be sure, smash that like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on the replay. And I'll see you here in 2 hours, 3 hours for Horsepower Hour. Y'all take care. Go Broncos.